We're live. Let's get to it.
Sell tickets online, never in the streets. Easiest way to make money. I go to the ticket shop.
Click the link at the top line of the description. Don't. All right, so that's from our newest sponsor, the ticketplug.com. The link is right there at the top line of the description box. Make sure you check our brother and his beautiful company out, the ticketplug.com. And like I said, the link is right there at the top line of the description. All right, so I'm gonna play this video, man. Here's one of the escaped inmates, Anthony Massey, a video he just dropped, right, of him pleading with Donald Trump, pleading with Meek Mill, Lil Wayne, anyone that will listen. Let's play it.
Beat her. She was nowhere in her presence. This is the affidavits on a date right here. Massey, I'm one of the ones that was let out of GC. What I want to talk about today is for as why I was in Orleans Parish Jail. All type of stuff going on and they covering it up. They don't care about nothing in the state of Louisiana. This is something that need to go under a federal investigation. What's going on? How they handling cases? Why Antoine Massey was in jail if the woman, the victim, the grown woman, not a child, the grown woman stated that he never raped her. He never beat her. He was nowhere in her presence. This is the affidavits on a date right here. This is the drop form from the district attorney office. This woman when did this. I didn't do this. Look, it's legally dated. So I'm asking please for help. Young boy, Meek Mills, people, LBL, you know what I'm saying? People that been through the system that know it's corrupt. Lil Wayne, Donald Trump, please, I'm asking for help. You know what I'm saying? When I get back in custody, I'm asking y'all please to come and help. You feel what I'm saying? I'm asking the world. I'm letting y'all know I'm not a raper, man. I'm not, none of that. None of that. I'm a good person. I am a father that want to be in my children's life. You know what I'm saying? I want to let the younger youth know that going down the route of trying to be a...
Good question. Why is he doing these videos on the run? It beats me. It beats me. Not the smartest thing to do, but he probably feel like the walls is closing in on him and that he has to do something. So here's a picture of these inmates. These guys escaped from New Orleans Correctional Facility May the 16th. They posted a little, they seen like it was behind, I think like one of the toilets or the sink. It was a little escape hatch that they escaped through, and they wrote too easy, and they were dropping like flies. They were dropping like flies, and Jerome, shout out to you, said you can get 15 years. Yeah, like if you're gonna escape, you best have somewhere to go. Right? So these guys jumped out, they went out. Now the FBI, the ATF, all the alphabet boys got a $50,000 bounty per inmate. Bounty meaning obviously to turn them in. Shout out to my boy James Hudson. To turn them in, not to off them, but if you turn them in, if you have information that leads to their arrest, you will get 50 racks. Obviously, unanimous. Now him going and you know jumping on Instagram, it's probably gonna be they're gonna find him because they're gonna be able to triangulate his location just from that live stream, and all they gotta do is just start, you know, surrounding that area, checking video cameras. So it's only a matter of time. JTW puts, he knows he's going to get caught. The information he shares is worth us listening to. I don't think he should. I think he should receive help. No. I'm gonna get to that. And you're absolutely correct. They're not coming off that reward money. It's gonna be somebody that know him. That's why they do stuff like that, because they say, oh, it could be anonymous, and we'll give you 50 bands. So somebody, it might be his mama, it might be his sister, his cousin, a friend, it might be his girl. Yeah, he was just over there at the jungle. Get him. I need that 50. So he, like JT said, he knows he's going to get caught. But I want to get to the information worth listening to. Absolutely, it is. Absolutely, it is. Because we know how these jails are. We know that. We know that it's not fitting for a beast. He should be. Yeah, I think I know he's telling the truth. I know he's telling the truth, right? Because now he's shining light now, not just on him being on the run, but the trifling conditions, for lack of a better word, in jail. I want to read this comment. If you come in, hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Al E. Chapman Sr., thank you for checking in. But it's good he did the video. Look at what he's saying. To hell with being online. So what? Help the people he's talking about. What's going on with the system in Louisiana? I mean, I'm hitting on those facts. I agree. Like, I mean, obviously we could pass the, shock of him doing the video. Oh, he's on a run. But let's get down to the issue. Let's get down to the nitty gritty with this thing here. Like, what's really good with these prisons? Now, I get it. Like, people done crimes and all that. And we were just talking about this earlier, as a matter of fact, when we recorded the podcast. Like, you still deserve to be treated like a human being. If you Google right now, prisons, like I think in Sweden and some of those European countries, it looked like a bedroom. They get out the garden. They're confined. They're behind bars, but they don't make it feel like they're in a lion's dungeon or slave dungeon. They make it to where it's not even gonna say comfortable, but you want to be able to live. All right, I'm behind bars, but let me do this, let me do that. My room ain't got to be, steal this, steal that, steal this, steal that. Nah, the color ain't got to be always gray. What if it's green or blue? And it shows that these different systems in these different countries, they also have systems of rehabilitation on top of the conditions that they live in. And yes, things happen, but it's at a minimal. It's at a minimal. All you gotta do is just look it up. South Carolina, what up? What up? So yeah, it's and you have people, all types of activists out there, people like Jay-Z and others, that are really getting into the conditions and what's really going on. Because remember, these are the undesirables, so-called. Nobody cares. You did a crime. People think that you should be treated like an animal. You should live like an animal. You should be fed like an animal. You should be beaten like an animal. You should work like a slave. That's another part of it we got to deal with. The slave labor. People want to boast and brag about China and all the stuff that they could do, but look, they paying people slave labor. But like I always say, this country was built. This country thrives off free and exploitable labor. Think about all the immigrants that come over, and think about, all, all right. Think about all, the jobs that they doing and why people want them over here. Why business owners employ them and bring them over, because they could pay them less money, not give them no benefits. Right. So this is something. This is an age-old problem, and then that's along with the conditions, how they're treated. That's another issue I got. If I'm going to work, if I'm putting license plate together, because like some guys, like they strip you down economically outside of prison and in prison. And let's just say, God forbid, I have to go to prison for 5-10 years. I'm away from my family. The state's paying or whatever. I mean, I got to pay a portion, but if I'm working, putting picnic tables together, license plates together and all that, pay me a livable wage so I could take some money, handle my own needs, and send some money to help my wife and my children. Maybe I'm making $500 a week in jail doing work. All right, I can send that home and still help her financially. And so the stress and the burden ain't got to be on my family because I'm in prison, I'm working. But instead, you get 22 cents an hour. What the hell are you going to do with that? You feel me? What are you going to do with that? So that's an issue for me. That's an issue. Something has to be changed about okay, I'm behind bar. You got me doing all this shit. You got me on all this labor, all this work, putting all these good products out, all this, whatever I'm doing or whatever the case may be. And you pay me like a slave? Treat me like a slave? Feed me like a slave? Nah, something got it. It needs to be some real reform, not just celebrities and athletes doing it just to do it. Real reform. Appreciate that. Jerome Street, B. Mitch. James Crosby, he needs to be careful being on live using the phone. I touched on that earlier. I touched on that because I'm like, yo, it's only a matter of time. Maybe he knows it, but he wants to shine light. And look, if I'm in there doing, I'm trying to escape too, bro. I'm looking for every opportunity to escape. Right? All right, we got a Spanish Harlem puts. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. It's called freedom. I agree. it's not even really about the time, it's the conditions that you're doing the time in. Like, let me do my time. All right, I did the crime, I'm doing my time. But you treat me like I'm a caged lion. You treat me like I'm a beast. You feel what I'm saying? You starving me out. You giving me shit food. You put me in conditions that's going to turn me into an animal, turn me into a monster. It's a documentary out there called Blackfish. If you never, Inhumane Conditions, absolutely. If you never seen it, check it out. Didn't you know, when you look it up, orcas, what they call killer whales, right? Ironically, you can go right now and jump in the ocean with them. It was not one instance of a killer whale attacking somebody in its own natural habitat. Once you put them in these small ass SeaWorld confinement, right? They start behaving differently. They show signs of stress, anger, aggression. Their dorsal fin goes down, which doesn't happen. And in a couple instances, they actually kill the trainer. In one instance, they actually grab, right, the trainer in the pool, take him underwater, bring him back up for air, take him underwater, bring him back up, do it to the point the man almost dies. You can check us on YouTube right now. Why do you think they doing this? And then they want to lie to us and say, oh, it's better for them being cat because of this. No, bullshit. Even when you go to the zoos, you see the animals and whatnot in there, and you read, oh, they live this long in captivity, this long in the wild. They always lie about that. They live way longer in the wild than they live in captivity. What does that show you? It shows you that when you take something out of its natural habitat, or it takes itself out of the natural, whatever you know what I'm saying, and you put them in a condition like a prison, a jail, something small where they're not used to, they are going to, it's going to change them. They're going to, turn into proverbial animals. They're going to start doing things they normally wouldn't do in their own environment. And yes, we are considered animals as well. So if they're doing it, we doing it times 10. You feel me? I hear Angola is horrible. Yeah. I mean, come on, man. Like, man, all the brothers that been down and done time, they already know what it is. And some jails is better, some jails is worse than others. Brothers know what it is. If you're listening, if you're enjoying the content, hit the thumbs up. And shout out to our sponsor, the Ticket Plug. Hit the top line of the description. Let's do a station identification break for them. This 20 seconds real quick. This is the Ticket Plug, our newest sponsor. Check it out.
Sell tickets online, never in the streets. Easiest way to make money. I go to the ticket shop.
Click the link at the top line of the description. Excuse me, the tickettrap.com. The tickettrap.com. He must have changed it up on me. All right, tickettrap.com. I will definitely change that. My bad, dog. I thought it was Ticket Plug. But nevertheless, I think that's one of your other websites. But it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And again, like I said, the brothers know it. They know, like, what are they feeding me, man? They giving you water that a dog wouldn't drink. Well, they doing all cops of nutty, putting you with enemies. You got guards doing all types of, crazy stuff, man. Let me go to this comment here. JTW. The 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution abolished slavery and involuntary servitude, but with an exception, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted. Absolutely. I'm gonna leave it on the screen for a minute so y'all can dig into that. Shout out to my brother JTW. What's good? Like, yo, what's that saying? Let's break it down. It's saying, yeah, we took away, we abolished slavery, we took away involuntary servitude, which is slavery, but with one exception. You get convicted of a crime. You've been convicted. Oh yeah, we could do that. I mean, 15 cents an hour. Make these license plates. Make these picnic tables. Make lids for Starbucks. Modern day slavery, absolutely. So again, this country thrives, has thrived for years off of that type of exploitable labor. Dr. Claude Anderson with a great book, Black Labor, White Wealth. Check it out. He talks about his other books that talk about this country and how they tricked us, because when they started bringing these immigrants over from Ireland, Italy, Jewish people, all these different people, even Chinese, and you know, at one point we had all the skilled positions, all the skilled laborers, all the jobs, anything. We was doing that. We came in and we showed them. All right, could be brotherly, we family. We showed them, all right, this is what we're gonna do. Boom, 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 boom. Next thing you know, they get into positions up there in those unions, and they start phasing us out of those unions. They start phasing us out of those unions. And obviously there's more to the story, right? But even back before that, when you talk about major industry, you know, you talk about tobacco, excuse me, cotton and things like that. These are all major industries that require labor. That require labor. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of people have to be out there picking it, sorting it, cleaning, whatever has to be done. They had us doing this shit by hand, not paying us nothing to do it. They're able to build, you know, a lot of the insurance companies was built on, you know, through a lot of these, you know, these through a lot of the labor of our ancestors. Look it up. Like I don't say no lies, man. This is all historical. This is all history. Betty Paylor. Do the crime. If you can't do the time, don't do it. Well, it's not that easy. It's really not that easy, sis. And I'll get into it. JTW, you're speaking facts, bro. That's why there's so many innocent brothers back there. The system manipulates the masses to justify giving a brother 15 years for stealing a pack of cigarettes or selling some crack. Remember that? Or selling some crack. And who was the one who changed that law? Trump. Or I ain't gonna say changed it, but he like modified it, right? Made it a little bit lighter on us. I feel like this the last run of Trump is gonna be interesting. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that the crime part. See, I'm not talking about the crime and the time. Get past that, people. I'm talking about the conditions that I go in, or you go in, or that person goes in, how they're treated when they're in there. That's all I'm saying. Of course, you're gonna want to get out. Of course, you're gonna want. And the lady, she spoke the crime. See, crime. It's a funny thing, right? Because once again, if I would have dropped any white person in those Irish ghettos, those Jewish ghettos, what would they be saying? What would they be doing? Opportunity strip. Economically, you know, you don't have nothing going on, whatever the case may be. And yeah, some people make it out. There's always exceptions to the rule. Never throw the rule away for exception. But for the majority, it's like you put, here's an example. You put kids in the middle of a damn jungle. Boom. Middle of a jungle, snakes, spiders, lions, tigers, bears, all that. What you expect them to do? They got to survive, right? These kids got to survive. They in the middle of ghetto North America. They got to survive. They only going to do things that are, that's why it's important. You know, I'm a big guy on mentorship. I'm a big guy, you know, on helping, you know, the teens and the youth, you know, be a strong mentor, whether it be through sports, business, anything I could do to help people, because I understand, like, it ain't that easy for everybody. Some guys is going to go sell some drugs, bro. That's all that's available to them. Queen's DNA, peace and love. It's been a minute. I'm glad you're doing all right. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I already know, like, I had a lot of friends that was in the streets and doing things and whatnot, and that's not what they really want to do, bro. It's the means to an end, and a lot of time it becomes the end because they get caught up in some bullshit. It's just the means. You put me somewhere, right, and you know, it's just a lot, bro. I'm not gonna really get into the spill and all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do that today and whatnot. Mario Gibson, if you just come in and hit the thumbs up button on the video, voting won't work. I don't know why you Earthlings think that. Why would you vote for another man to govern you and only life gave you, God gave you everything you need, Earthling? Yeah, I hear you on that one. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's a whole bigger issue, man. It's a whole. My man Doug, what up? I just seen that. Peace out, Doug. Peace, peace, peace. I ain't gonna be in here long because I got a lot of things to edit and get done tonight. I just wanted to drop this on y'all real quick. I'm gonna see if there's anything else interesting that pops up. I'll read it. Again, hit the like button. The like button is the thumbs up. Live on both channels right now. So show some love to the chat. Show some love to your boy. James Hudson in the building. Yes, sir. Just joined. Who's the inmate? Oh, okay. It's this dude right here. If y'all just missed it, I'm gonna do it for you.
I'm one of the ones that was
So, dude just put out this video.
let out of GC. What I want to talk about today is as far as why I was in Orleans Parish Jail. All type of stuff going on and they covering it up. They don't care about nothing in the state of Louisiana. This is something that need to go under a federal investigation. What's going on? How they handling cases? Why Antoine Massey was in jail if the woman, the victim, the grown woman, not a child, the grown woman stated that he never raped her, he never beat her, he was nowhere in her presence. This is the affidavits on the date right here. This is the drop form from the district attorney office. This woman when did this. I didn't do this. Look, it's legally dated. So I'm asking please for help. Young boy, Meek Mills, people, LBL, you know what I'm saying? People that been through the system that know it's corrupt. Lil Wayne, Donald Trump, please, I'm asking for help. You know what I'm saying? When I get back in custody, I'm asking y'all please to come and help. You feel what I'm saying? I'm asking the world. I'm letting y'all know I'm not a raper, man. I'm not none of that. None of that. I'm a good person. I am a father that want to be in my children's life. You know what I'm saying? I want to let the younger youth know that going down the route of trying to be a...
All right, I appreciate that. Appreciate Jerome Street for the $4.99 super sticker. Definitely gonna put that on the screen. I appreciate that. I want to get to a comment though. Mario Gibson put. Hold on. Y'all firing him off now. I want to peace to you once again, Queen's DNA. Now you coming in with. I'm gonna address Bay, but I don't want to lose my train of thought. Hold on. I don't want to lose my train of thought. I think I'm about to lose it. Right. Because what the man was talking about was real, bro. Like, really, if you don't have no money like that to be able to afford proper representation, you're at the behest, at the will of the system. Because they give you these, and look, some public defenders are great, right? I'm not going to sit up here, but they got the caseloads are so big. This is a numbers game with them, you know. And again, they're being paid by the same people that are prosecuting you. So they're not going to really give you the same type of attention if you get a paid attorney, a paid lawyer who's going to bring in experts and, you know, really dig, and especially you get a seasoned one. But you got to be able to afford it. And unfortunately, some of us can't. So you got to plead out. So I believe the brother when he says, look, I ain't even, you know, sometimes it'd be like, yo, I'm just going to take this plea. They offer me probation. I ain't really do it. But if I go to trial, I'm getting 5 with a 10 or 10 with a 5, whatever, you know, or 10 with a 10, whatever, or 5 with a 5 or 5 with a, whatever. You don't want to do no jail time. You don't want to do it. Mario Gift, I'm new to the channel, bro. My name is Akuma Asher. My name is Ancient Language. Mario is my straw man. I come in peace, Earthling. Jurisdiction. All right, the Bays. Shout out to the Bays, right? Jurisdiction. Where is in the United States? Where is U.S. Title 4? Does it mention gold fringes? My point is contract laws, commerce, and trade. I agree with all of that stuff. I salute, you know, the stance you brothers take with the law and all of that. My simple answer is to that. My simple response. How do you enforce that? Because standing in court, which is noble, it's honorable, I salute it. You're dealing with a military structure. What do I mean by that? At the end of the day, if you don't listen to what they say, if you try to go against and argue jurisdiction, and I'm not gonna say I don't disagree with some of that stuff. They just gonna get their sheriffs, bailiffs, throw you in prison, keep you there, and you're gonna say, "Oh, this is against my, I'm gonna sue you," and all that, and you're still there, and you're still there, and it goes on for years and years and years and years. Point being, I just think we already know what it is, man. That's a conversation we have offline, though. You know what I'm saying? Definitely trap music. Angela Burr, stop doing dumb ish. I can't keep going back and forth with you, Angela. I mean, you got your one track of mine. I'm not gonna keep fighting with you. You know what I'm saying? But like with the Moors and the people that push that stuff, look, I salute y'all. And a lot of it's true. But how do you enforce it? How are we enforcing that? How? Don't paperwork me to death. But it's no disrespect because I salute, standing on something, and get with me. If you want to come talk, I'm open. My email's in the description. You got some valuable information. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, with that being said, let me get it's almost 8 o'clock, man. Look, let's not throw away what the brother has to say, what the brother's saying, because of the way he looks, because of the situation. Let's really take heed to what he's saying and say, okay, what's really good with this? Because what he's doing is making himself the sacrificial lamb. He's going to get caught soon. He's probably going to do a lot of years in prison. But what is he talking? He's talking about the unfair treatment of minorities, in particular black men. And he's highlighting how we're treated inside the prison system. So all the way to the arrest to going behind bars. It's mistreatment at its highest level. With that being said, it's your brother Oga Man, Hip Hop News Uncensored. Hit the thumbs up button on the video. I gotta go. I appreciate everybody. Wish I could say everybody's name, but show love to the channel and click the top line of the description box and check out the ticket plug. Yeah, check him out. Links at the top line of the description. And when you link up with him, tell him Oga from Hip Hop News Uncensored sent you. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.